Watch out.
We're live.
See, it's fine. What's up, people? So basically, tonight's little show is whatever the fuck we want it to be, honestly. It's going to be a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're going to talk about, well, Blythe would love to talk about attraction, maybe focusing on sexual attraction, and a lot of other different things. If you have any questions, if there's no one watching right now, but if there is, you can post your questions. Well, there's not. There's no one there. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Okay. So there was a post last week's show on life after love, correct? Yeah. We had a lot of negative. Well, just one bitch talking about, they don't like the show, they didn't like it, revenge is bad, yada yada yada, and I I wanted to address that before we go into whatever. I don't really think that revenge is bad. I mean, of course, if you freaking break a nail and you blame it on your next door neighbor and then you take revenge out on them, okay, maybe that would be considered bad. But when you have a legit experience, your reasons for casting or taking out your revenge on people, you have your own reasons. You're justified. If you feel justified, that's all that matters. And excuse my fucking hair, it's horrible. I've been eating all day, so oh well. Anyways, does anyone else have anything to say about revenge and people being ignorant?
Like I said, when Nimbus and I did ours, whenever somebody said something about revenge, I was always kind of like, get over it. And then I was actually in that situation. I was like, you know what, fuck it. So I think that unless you've actually been in that situation, then you should probably not give any advice or give the advice that's actually asked. And I didn't really agree with the person that was saying that they had been in an abusive relationship for however, years and years and years, and they just got out and walked away, just dealt with it, because that's not how everybody deals with things. Everybody needs to deal with things differently, and I think that if you're a witch and if you're in a relationship, an abusive relationship for 15 years, you're not a fucking witch. I don't know what you are, but you're definitely not a witch. Witches are self-aware, and they know how to get themselves they don't put themselves in situations like that. I mean, everybody gets in situations like that because we need to learn, and I think for the most part it's a temporary thing. But if you're in that relationship for 15 years, there's just something wrong with you.
There's something wrong with everyone. Yeah, but every situation is so different. So just because someone went through abuse or however they chose to handle it, that's on them. But that doesn't mean that everyone else should handle it the same way. I think it's unfortunate that people have to really judge that situation, that experience, because that's so sensitive. People who go through those experiences, at the end of the day, really, if someone wants to do revenge, then they do revenge, and it's really not anyone's place to say that you're wrong for doing it or being revenge is wrong and come back on you threefold karma, blah blah blah. Who the fuck cares? When you're at that point, you do what is necessary. You take responsibility for your actions, and you honor the most amazing curse that you're going to place on a motherfucker who needs it. That's just how it is. It just irritates when people really place judgment on other people who choose to go that route because they don't know that experience, and sometimes that's necessary. People say karma, but what if? We've said this before in other shows, but what if that karma was that revenge being enacted?
Mm-hmm.
So
And if by chance it does end up blowing up in the caster's face, that may be another lesson that the caster needs to learn, and only they have to
yeah, they're
experience
probably a
it in
suck
order to
ass
learn it.
witch.
That too. So yeah.
Well, taking a, or doing a curse, I mean, you should take the precautions anyway, so it doesn't come back to you.
Yeah.
And you know, so many people don't know how to do that.
Mm. No,
They
it's
don't.
all
So many
about the
people they
read and the threefold law and all sort of crap.
throw it out.
I apparently missed this part. Like, what did this person say about revenge? Like, I didn't see this.
Revenge is bad, Nimbus. Revenge is horrible. You do not enact revenge on people, anyone. You could be beaten by a lover, you could be stabbed, but you never enact revenge. It's bad. Basically,
Okay,
that's
Get
what they
up
said.
and walk away. You just walk
Do
away.
you think that we're like held to the same standards as like Muggle? Like, I feel like if someone breaks into my house, and I'm a Muggle, I'm gonna do something to make sure that they get caught. I'm either gonna call the law or I'm gonna shoot the motherfucker that breaks in the house. Like, I don't know. Like, whatever happens. But like, am I gonna get some karmic, like, I don't know, karmic beat down because I called the cops on somebody? Like,
That's why I posted on.
do you see my point? Like, why are we held to a different
yeah.
standard than other people have just because we can use magic?
Well, I
Like,
posted.
you know what I'm saying?
I honestly don't get it. I agree.
I posted on the Deviant Witchery page. Let me find it so I can actually quote myself. I wrote, "Why is it that we can dress nice, smell good, get our nails done, smile, flirt, etc. for a job interview, court, or even a date, or even call the cops on an abuser, and try to trap a thief or a shit-talking backstabber at work, but once somebody decides to light some candles, the whole world is coming to an end." It's like we can do all of these things to make ourselves attractive and pretty, and go to court, or can lie about certain situations or have people lie about us, but once we light some candles, it's the end of the fucking world. So get over it.
I know. It's stupid. Like, anybody, it's whether a witch, whether a carny, it doesn't matter. Everyone uses their talent, their skills, all of what they are to their advantage. So it's no different when you're a magical practitioner, when you use magic to assist in a real situation.
And it was kind of funny that somebody had posted that they don't, they're a witch, or they don't manipulate things. And it's like, that's what we do. That's part of, that's the foundation.
That's who we are.
What we are. I didn't understand that either, but.
Well, that's like on the page, not the group, but the page. I had posted something about lavender oil, like what lavender can be used for, and then you can also reverse it, like, because lavender is to bring happiness and calming. You can reverse that shit. And I think it was the second comment that I got on that post was, well, what about the threefold law? Well, what the fuck about it? I don't follow it. Therefore, I'm not posting anything about it related to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, seriously.
Why is it 3?
Not everybody
Why would it be 3? I don't get that.
Why is it a law? It's from my understanding, it was written in a fucking fiction book and taken completely out of context.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I blame? I blame the entire TV show of Charmed. I blame that fucking show. I love that show, but I blame the show. Because I think people, like, I don't know, I think they watched it and they were like, ooh, I want to be a witch, but we can't have personal gain. That's bullshit. If I wasn't allowed to have personal gain, my life would be so fucked right now. Like, yeah. I would just get karmic beatdowns all over because I literally use my magic for myself more than I do anything else. We're not allowed to, what is that? Oh, whatever you do comes back to you. three times good, three times bad. Like that, I think that's written somewhere. But why is it three? I never understood that. Like I don't get it. Like, and the Bible says sevenfold. So biblically speaking, I don't know where they get the fucking seven, but at least that makes a little bit more sense. At least it's in like a fucking old book that somebody worships.
We
Like,
should create
somebody
our
made up.
own rule, like deviant witchery. It should be the deviant law. It comes back on you ninefold if you're a dumbass.
Seriously, I mean, if you can't do this, like how Nimbus said, you can't do like personal gain. You can't do revenge. You can't do this. You can't do that. Then what the fuck can you do? Just claim the title? Because
Chant and
I mean, what would
bake
you do?
cookies.
Yeah.
meditate.
That's
Shadow work. Can
somebody
you guys
said,
see me? I know this is odd, and I don't mean to break up the thing, but like all I see is like a green screen. I see your little faces like down at the bottom, but I see a green.
yeah, I can
That's
see
all I
you.
see.
I can see
Oh,
you.
well, I just can't see you. Damn it.
So, oh shit, you made me lose my train of thought.
Sorry, I know I'm an idiot.
No, it's okay.
Cat meowing somewhere?
Yeah.
Yes,
Who
my
is
fucking
that?
cat won't shut the fuck up, and it's on my
Is that
last
Lucifer?
nerve. Yes, and I'm gonna kill that shit. Just, I'm
you
not
ever
even
name
kidding.
Crap.
No,
What's his name?
Hob. His name's Hob. Oh,
You
that.
kidding me?
Hold on.
He's kicking his ass out.
He's just
Huh?
turned off completely. He's gone.
Like
Um,
PUB?
I'm trying to. I'm trying. Crap.
I should not have asked that.
What?
Whatever I
Oh,
said
I thought
about
you
the
were
green screen threw
no.
Blythe off.
No.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, you.
You see this little
Aw.
shit?
Can't
This
see
thing
anything.
does not stop fucking meowing. Look at him, it's all innocent and shit. No.
Oh. He's so
Aw,
pretty
No.
though.
he's so cute.
Oh. Okay, fine. Oh, well, I mean, yeah. He's an asshole, that's all I know. So okay, this is totally like traveling way off. This is not on topic at all. But he wants to go outside sometimes, like just to stay out all night. Put him out. There's fucking cat hair at the top of the fucking door. Like, past the doorknob. Like, I don't know what that thing is doing. But yeah. Anyways. It's crazy.
Cats are
So, yeah.
fucking weird.
But, oh my god, it needs to stop. Cats are weird, but you could use cat hair in attraction work. There you go, Blythe. Haha.
Are we getting on to topic
Because
now?
well, kind of, sort of. Cats are always fucking horny. Like, they are always, like, crazy. They're, like, I don't know. There's always, like, a cat in heat around here somewhere. So they're always in heat. They're mean. They fight. So if you want, like, kinky, raw, pure, like, just crazy carnal sex, get some cat hair.
And really
Don't think
loud sex.
Don't think it's
Yeah.
like
That's dogs.
The dogs. I thought cats got stuck, and that's why they howled.
Oh my god.
No, dogs get stuck.
Dogs get stuck, and that is not. I've seen it happen, and it's not a pleasant sight.
You're like we spray them with the
They
hose
do.
pipe because apparently it like helps with the swelling. Like we're like no. You... oh god.
No,
I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah. Well. But yeah, you can use cat hair. So cat hair would be a great addition to hot romance. Very loud sex.
What else can you use for attraction?
Blythe.
Pulled that segue out of my ass.
I think she froze. Attraction work. Let's see. I like using lodestones.
Me too.
And if you're a freak, you can dress those lodestones with like bodily fluids, the right kind. If you're working sex magic, because if you use like urine, I'm not into golden showers. You might be, but not my thing. So yeah, if you
I
want
hate the
that,
smell of
you
urine.
might be able to use. You could use that. But yeah, so yeah,
Shit.
Lodestones is awesome.
Yeah. I feel like okay. I'm gonna suck at this topic, and I'll tell you why. I'm only gonna talk theoretically and what I would use because I don't use attraction work on my wife, and we have been in a relationship for a while, so it's like,
That's
and I
probably
don't
because
use
she'd kill
attraction work
you.
with clients. So do what?
I
Are you
said
talking
she'd
about
probably kill you. She would know that you're working something on her, and she'd probably like cunt punch you,
the
rope punch
fucking
you.
spirits tell her everything. I can't do anything. I cannot
That's
fucking do
because,
anything. They tell her
that's
everything.
because yeah, because spirits are all over the place, and they are like, yeah, they love her, and she talks to them, and no one can get away with anything.
I talk
That
shit
kind
to
of
her.
sucks.
It does suck. I talk shit to her. Her like God or whatever. I don't. She has a name, and I'm not gonna like spread her name or whatever for fear that I offend her. But I talked shit to her one day because I was like, yeah, you need to. Like I was just I was joking, but like she did not take it like a joke. And I had the shittiest day I had had in like a year because I offended her. Like, and I was like, you got to tell her I apologize. She's like, and my wife was like, no, you need to tell her you apologize because I'm not telling her fucking shit for you. Like, and I did. And when I apologized, like, shit got better. You could feel it. Like, the entire atmosphere was better. So, yeah, I can't do anything. They're like this.
Oh, there's a little. Someone posted, I see why it says deviants. Because we're fucking deviantly awesome. What else? Yeah, well, honestly, this is basically real talk. So we can talk about whatever we want. We can go from love, lust, to basically whatever pops into our heads. So if you have something else that you want to say, that's absolutely fine.
Going back to lodestones, I do use lodestones to kind of add to the attraction among me and my wife. So I use like attraction lodestones. They're like attracted to each other, and one's dedicated to me, one's dedicated to her, and like you know what I'm saying. So it keeps the attraction and the spark alive between us. So that's cool.
Absolutely,
If
and
you're in a
I think
relationship.
it's really cool to yeah, to personalize it. So if you are in a relationship, or if you know kind of the type of qualities that you're looking for, make that like put an oil or do herbs that are aligned with that specific, those specific qualities, and surround that with your surround that around. Oh fuck, I can't talk. Your lodestone, the one that you're trying to attract, and then anoint the other lodestone with your bodily fluids. And so then that kind of attracts to you what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, but if you are in a relationship, that actually would be really good to do like what you do, enhance it, and just what your partner loves, what they love about you, what you love about them, work that into the work.
Have some attraction oil.
What is that?
Attraction oil.
Who is that by? Who makes that? Is that Lucky Mojo?
No, this is the Root Leet Earth's Cauldron. And I actually have some magnetic lodestones that Elisa sent me that I haven't used yet. See, I don't know. I like oils.
Cause you're a freak. You like the slick.
What? Just kill it. I know we talked about crystals before, but for what are we talking about? Just general attraction?
We're talking about whatever we desire. And I have this annoying fucking cat that won't shut up.
I have
So,
some
like, anything.
some come to me oil, which is by the same person, which is really good to get. I've never really used that to. I've used it to more get somebody to contact me than to like try something physical.
To poke you?
Yeah, I've just if somebody has if I haven't heard from somebody in a while, I've used that before to get them to contact me, because sometimes it's easier to get somebody to contact you than it is for you to contact them. That's part of the manipulation part of being a witch. Sometimes you have to kind of make it their idea.
And what you could do is you could use that attraction oil in specific like communication spell. Use that attraction oil and then use baby's breath. Like, have you ever used baby's breath? Like, those little filler flowers that are in rose bouquets?
Yes,
I love
they're
that.
evil.
They're amazing for communication, though. Like, that entire, like, in any fucking way possible, if you want to communicate with somebody, like, work it the way you would work it. Say, hypothetically, you want to talk to one of your exes that you got him on your mind or whatever, or her on your mind, and, like, you want to make yourself attractive, and then have some communication between the two of you. Make him or her call you. Use the attraction oil. Use some lodestones to attract it to you, and then throw in the communication factor by adding something like baby's breath.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Baby's breath is so interesting though, because you could use that to communicate with the dead, and you can use that actually in death work. So you kind of have to be careful about that one. That's kind of where. Go ahead.
I guess if you wanted to attract spirits, you could use it for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you want to, you could put it on an altar, like a love altar, when you want to communicate with spirits that are very, like, they align with what you're trying to produce. So if it's sexual, a sexual partner, if it's love, whatever, you can use baby's breath also to attract those types of spirits.
Or what if you want to communicate with the other person's spirits? See, I don't know if that's something I haven't heard that be talked about a lot.
That is very sneaky. That's a sneaky little thing that a lot of people do. That's why people don't talk about it, because when you go to someone else's spirits, a lot of people don't talk about it because it's a tricky thing. Not that it's hard to do, but if you go to someone, like if I went to your spirits and talked to them and say, you know what, you need to put your bitch in check, and this is why. And they might agree with me, this is the reason, and they might think that, okay, those are the correct, we align with that, that's true. And so they would really put the smackdown on you and say, hey, this shit's going to change. They'll put situations in your life. So yeah, I think I have used baby's breath, not often, but I have used it in any type of communication. So I would say that you can use it to communicate with another individual's spirit.
Do you have to be in, and this is a question that I personally have and ask for those that do more spirit work, like Michael, you, and Scarlett, do you have to have made a connection with those spirits before? Obviously I feel like that would help, but you can't just contact someone's spirits. Is that true, or is it, what's the deal with that?
Is Scarlett alive?
I don't know. She froze, I think. She's like this.
I think she's frozen. Is she here?
I'm not frozen.
Oh.
Oh, you're frozen over here. Okay, well then I'll let Scarlett. What do you feel about that? I'll answer after you.
Okay, so working with spirits, like to have that relationship with them, like for somebody else's spirit. Is that what you're asking?
Uh, do you have to have a relationship with someone else's spirits in order to contact them to get them to do something for you concerning the other person? That's wordy, but if you understood what I'm saying.
And
I,
I'm gonna have to say no. I just
yeah.
because I mean, being a medium, and it might be even the same for your wife, that you don't know every spirit that comes around you, and you can benefit from working with certain spirits, and you just don't have that knowledge of that spirit quite yet. So I'm gonna have to go with no on that. You don't have to know them and have that relationship quite yet. So
Right. How would you petition
I
a spirit of someone?
well, I guess it all depends. Like for people that I don't know, like clients, I usually send out like an invitation to the spirit that they're wanting to contact. And I make it to where the invitation is for them only.
Mm-hmm.
Because there have been times where I have not made the invitation for them only and other spirits are trying to come through. Because
Right.
that's an open invitation, they're like, I want to come through, I want to talk. So I make the invitation for that particular client and their deceased loved ones only. And it's kind of like doing a circle, I guess you can say, but it's like just on my desk or the table. And so I do that. I leave out offerings of either bread or wine, and I leave the petition on the underneath the candle, and I talk to them. So I like to bring them into that little circle, into that little area. That's how I petition those ones. I don't really petition ones that I'm unaware of. Like there's quite a bit in my house, around my house. Um, there's ones that I would work with, and there's ones that no, nope, not working with you. So I mean, I guess it all
yeah.
depends on just the energy that you feel from them. So I guess like I said, it depends on who you're calling, why you're calling, or if it's just a quick working with a spirit that you feel comfortable with their energy.
I also agree. Like, you don't have to have a relationship with those spirits to contact them. It's different when it's like when it's deities, when it's gods, and when it's like known spirits like Marie Laveau or Medea. That's different. But when it comes to like the spirits of an individual, um, hell, fucking cat just bit me. Now it's licking me.
First he's sour, then he's sweet.
Seriously, shit. No, you don't have to. If you really just call them, if you contact them and you say, hey, what's up, that's really all that matters. I haven't had issues doing it that way. So sometimes when I'm contacting the other spirits, I will use something that is sacred or something that the other person, the person I'm contacting their spirits, that they like. So if you liked a specific food dish, I might make that and use that to connect with, not just, it's connecting with your energy, but those spirits connected to you. So I would do that. But yeah, that's just how I would go about it.
Okay, here's another question because my brain's working here. If you would say you want to know something about, say like you have a suspicion that your lover is cheating on you, could you like petition their spirits to tell you the truth? Is that, you know what I'm saying? Because I hear it, I hear that spirits, they do not have a understanding of like lies, so like they won't go around their ass to lie to you. So if could you find out in that way? Could you say, hey, what's going on? Is this suspicion like valid, or am I crazy?
I think that honestly, I think that one's tricky. That really depends on the spirit because the like for me, like my spirits, they will do what is necessary to protect me. So if you try and come in and ask them a question, they're going to protect me. They're going to do what they can to basically align with what I'm saying. But if you were a smart witch and you know how to sort of control spirits, like control the way that it's going to go, then yes, you can get you can get that information. And if you're tricky enough, you can catch them in lies, or you can get the truth out of them. But it really depends. And if those spirits don't agree with what's going on in that person's life, then fuck yeah, they're gonna like hand that shit to you. You know,
Right.
I've had a situation with a client that I was doing work for, and it was easy. You know, yeah, they came forth. Yeah, answer was yes. But then I had another situation with another client, and you can tell when a spirit is kind of like being around the bush, and they're like, I don't know. So that required a different way to handle it. But yeah, there's always a way to find out information, but not always will they give you what you want to know directly. But if you
Right.
kind of like work it in a tricky way, they will be happy to answer most of the time your questions.
So I think with that, I find
That
it
has just
more effective to use a form of divination that's not as complicated than as talking to spirits. Like I would use tarot cards or something like that. I'm more of a visual person anyway, so that would help me more.
When I
yeah, and I'm
communicate
like,
with
I like
spirits,
to, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I channel, like I don't use divination, like a tool of divination. I don't know, and here's my problem with that. And I can't control that. Like I feel like people who know the tool of divination, they have a little bit more control over the messages that they bring forth. But like when you're in a channel and you're channeling from spirit, it's almost uncontrollable, and you're just getting it, and then if it decides to cut off, it cuts off really abruptly, and you never know exactly when it's going to happen and when it's not going to happen, unless you specifically go into it with the thought, hey, I want to channel you, I want to communicate with you, this is what I want to do. But there are other times where it just happens. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I could benefit from using a divination tool, but if it wasn't such a fucking pain in my ass to learn, like tarot.
Shut up. Tarot's awesome.
Who invented that shit?
But you know what?
That's the one. Divination's that one thing, though. Everyone has that one thing in the craft. Divination is mine. I hate it because it frustrates me. I don't know why.
I think you'd be awesome at divination. Like, I love channeling. Channeling is great. And if you, like, for me, that fucking cat run around here? It's annoying. When I throw cards down, I receive information from spirit, and so like I allow it to. I'm gonna kill that thing.
When I need to get really back into it, but when I do it, I hear shit too. So it's not just looking at the cards. For me, it kind of opens up that channel to be able to actually hear my guides, or I'm still trying to grasp that. So I'm actually getting extra feedback. So the cards from me kind of jumpstart it.
That fucking cat bit me.
It obviously wants something. Like it's like, hey, let me.
It bit my fucking foot.
I want to go out.
It bit my foot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so if you want a biter, use cat hair.
I know this is weird, but I'm just gonna say it and I realize we're live, and I don't know how odd this is gonna fucking sound. But
I'm totally weirded out.
when we ever talk about like religion, because I know we're gonna get into that eventually at some point, I'll explain this a little bit more. So this is gonna sound strange, but corn is very, very sacred to me. So
Yes.
We know.
I work with Selu, and if any of you or Corn Mother or Selu Janitsi, whatever you want to call her, corn is like the sacred everything. It's the beginning of life. You have to know her a little bit better to understand the fullness of why corn means so much. But when I'm doing channeling work for like, if someone calls me and they're like, "Hey, I need your help with something," I will take corn. I have dried kernels of corn, and that's like, and I'll just move it in my hands, and then bam, like if I want to know something, messages just come. And I know that's strange, but if there's a tool of divination that like kind of spurs channel for me, it would be corn. So I mean, I understand that thought, but like it's not a visual thing. It's I most of the time I don't even look at the corn when I get messages. It's literally I'm touching it. So I sound like a complete fucking freak right now, but you know,
No, I
whatever
think
works.
that kind of taps into what you're connecting with.
Right.
So that would be like anybody who did some kind of divination that wanted to talk to any other goddess or god. They would put out or utilize whatever tools or like the Norse. If you wanted to connect with the Norse gods, you would probably use the runes. So maybe not even just
Right.
reading the runes, maybe just handling them, you would start to get some information. I think that's kind of how it is with your corn. It's kind of you being like, okay, I'm ready to go, and it's just kind of that opening.
You should create your own divination system. You should get like different colored corn and kind of use that to assist you in divination.
You could do
That would be
too.
awesome.
That's a really good idea, because I feel like I would connect to that. Like,
Obviously, I came up with it.
like, I work with corn more than I do. I bless with corn. I eat corn. I make offerings of corn. Like, I know it sounds weird, but that makes me want to talk about religion. But before I go into like a spur of how much I love my goddess and how much she's better than everyone else's, because you know that's what everyone does. Like I wanna not go into that right now. I'll go into it later. And two of you work with Hecate, or Scarlett, do you work with her, or do you I don't know, do you work with Hecate?
No, I don't.
Okay,
I've worked with her. I've worked with her a couple times.
Because
That's it.
I was like, great, now I've offended Hecate 3 times by saying that Salo is.
Well,
She's mean to me.
You already said that she doesn't like you, so.
She doesn't like me. She fucking hates me, and I don't understand what I did to her.
Maybe she doesn't like corn. Maybe that's what it is. Because she's Greek.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I should. I don't know. Some wheat. Did they have wheat in Greece? Like which is odd because I connect so heavily to Dionysus occasionally, which is odd. So
He's
I mean, I'm not
different.
anti-Greek or anything.
Dionysus is completely different. I think he connects with anybody who wants to have a good time.
He's really great with control, like petitioning him with control of alcohol. Like I know that sounds strange because he is the god of like letting go of your inhibitions and like freedom and breaking down that barrier that lets you have it. But I swear to God, when it comes to control over alcohol, he is fucking great. I know that sounds strange, but yeah. I mean it's
no.
You want to talk about lust? You can invoke Dionysus.
Actually, that Dionysus is a
bacchanal
we need to talk about right now. Yeah, he is, like, I agree, he's definitely amazing to work with for alcohol and tolerance. But but he's also amazing to work with if you want to get your freak on. Like I had this, I had this experience where I had to do something for someone, and it was really intense, and I had to channel Dionysus. He took over. He stepped into my body, and there was a situation that we need to take care of, and um, yeah, he's very potent. Like, if you want to work with him for anything to do with like intoxication, lust, sex, anything like that, he is your man. Like, you
And
want to work with him because, yeah. But
and like
you have to also be careful because he's a little too. He can be a little too aggressive at times. Like, he can come in and he can like take over. Like,
and
um,
and he is
overwhelming.
sexually indiscriminate. Does
Yeah.
that make sense to you when I say
Yeah.
that? He does
Yeah,
not.
absolutely.
If you are a man and you are a straight man, Dionysus doesn't give a fuck. He is a male deity, but he will come. I don't want to sound strange, but he will come onto you regardless. Like, he doesn't
Yeah.
have that gender. He doesn't have that sexuality clause that makes, he doesn't say, oh, you're a straight man, let me not come on to you, because that doesn't work for him. Because whatever is making him feel good at the time, whatever it is. Also, he doesn't don't make offerings to him. Like, he likes libations unto him, but into you. So, like, if you're
Right.
you would drink to him. You would not lay out wine for him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And so if you want to get
And
laid, if you want to do all that stuff, then you want to work with Dionysus, build that relationship. If you're really into, um, you know, sexual liberation, if you're into like exploring your body, exploring all of that, you want to work with Dionysus. Dionysus is freaking awesome. But you have to also understand his darker uh, undercurrents. Like, he has this aspect where he can be very dark. So you need to be aware of that. So do your research, but if you really want to bring that into your life, if you want to bring, like I said, sex, fertility, just fun. If you want to have fun, you can work with Dionysus, but you have to be careful because his motto really is excess. There's nothing that is excessive. Like, he wants more. He wants to experience everything at its fullest and then some. So you have to be careful when you work with Dionysus because of that. Because if you channel him, if you take him into you, and if you like totally embody him, if you're not prepared for that full experience, then you might regret it. You might have like guilty feelings or anything like that because he will do what he does, and it doesn't matter. He doesn't judge. He's gonna have fun.
exactly.
Is he the type where if you like laid down the law beforehand, he would not push your boundaries, or he would push them anyway?
He doesn't have in my opinion, he doesn't have boundaries. Like, he's not one of those. Okay, and historically, if you want to go historical, a lot of the gods don't like Dionysus because of that reason. Like, he always, he is never one to
Listen.
say, okay, Dionysus, don't do this. He would do it, and it's
Yeah.
not like in an offensive way, but that is kind of his. Like, don't ask him. He would not be a good. You shouldn't do that. Like, you shouldn't draw a line with him. If you're wanting to work with him, don't do that. Just don't work with him
Just be
because
prepared.
he's not
Yeah.
He's not okay with that. Like, his entire.
But I think
he breaks those barriers down.
he does break those barriers down tonight, but I think he'll also take into consideration your hesitant nature. Like, if you don't want to do something, he will understand that for a time. And like, for me, he took that into consideration, but he will also take that and fucking go all the way. Like, he will do whatever he wants, but he does it in a way where like you understand that he knows he's taking care of you. So it's really weird. So he'll do what he does, but he will also honor your feelings. He will honor what you've stated. He'll take all of that into consideration, but he's going to do what he does anyways, if that makes sense. But he will respect you.
He might use that as fuel to, like, he said, well, you're not comfortable with it now, but maybe if I continue to work on this situation, maybe you will become comfortable with it. Like, introduction to something little by little until it's no longer a problem for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be like, oh hey, and then like, whoa, damn, you're like in that full experience and it's happening. It's like you can't go back. It's if you can channel Dionysus, if you can like really take him in. I honestly, the experience I had, what I did, it was amazing. It was powerful. It was a learning experience, and I would honestly suggest that to anyone who can work with him. But you have to also take into consideration that when you work with them, you do what you do, and there's no going back. It is what it is.
And I find in my experience and talking to people that he enjoys working with men more than he does women, which I find interesting because it would almost seem that women were the more socially prude. You know what I'm saying? So it's odd that he prefers to work with men on a lot of occasions because men are normally in the American society looked at, not that they are, but looked at as the ones that are not as prude. They're open to more things, and when in reality, women are probably more open to things and not as prude as they're looked at. So, but he likes a lot of male energy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, I think
Absolutely.
He's very, very masculine. I don't even, like you said, he does not care gender-wise with anything. But I do think he responds more to men, and I think he responds more to homosexual relations than straight relations. That's just my experience, my opinion, rather.
You're what? You're homos?
That's just. I mean, the Greeks were, they didn't give a fuck.
The Greeks were free.
They were, but like at the same time, I don't know because I mean, I'm not trying to be like, no, I've never had a homosexual experience. I'm not like trying to be all like open and shit about sex, but like I've never had a homosexual experience. But I will tell you that it's odd when you're working with Dionysus because he breaks a barrier there that I've never like had it. I've only had heterosexual experiences because well, I like women, so that but working with him, he doesn't really care if you like women, and he will push you a little bit. And it's odd to say that you've had a homosexual experience with a god because it's not. I haven't, but if there's ever been a time where he made you feel like he was definitely coming onto you in that way, then that would be Dionysus. But it's not like in a pervasive like let me climb on top of you and fuck you kind of thing. Like it's not like that. It's more like hey, it's not a big deal. I don't know. It's odd.
Yeah.
I can't explain.
Right, and it's not a big deal. And I think that anyone who understands Dionysus, I think anyone who works with him understands that. Like they know because he'll take you and he will go to the extreme. Like he pushes you like to explore your sexuality. So if you like men, he'll probably come into you and he'll like show you a different aspect. If you like women, he'll probably show you a different aspect, and it's all okay. Like it's fascinating, and it's very interesting to experience him because he almost heals you. Like he takes all these energies and he tells you that it's okay to be whatever you want to be. It's okay to be whoever you want to be, and it doesn't matter. These labels, they limit you.
Exactly.
So I think that's important for anyone who does love work, anyone who does attraction work, to understand that it doesn't matter who you're attracting, Well, I guess sometimes it does, but like if you want to attract a man, want to attract a woman, don't try to attract the animals because we're not into that shit. We don't support that shit. Animals are
No.
sacred.
Don't have sex with animals.
But
Coming from the deviant witches, don't do it.
seriously,
Yeah.
yeah, seriously, he will
Deviant
take
doesn't
all
mean
of that
he's
and he'll make
stupid.
it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dionysus will take all of that and he'll make it right. He'll make you feel okay, like normal, like whatever you want to be, whatever you want to feel is fine. You know?
And
So
and
I think
he's
he. Go ahead.
with discrimination, right? So people have a problem, and in my experience, some people, not women, but male practitioners tend to have a problem. Say a male came to a male practitioner and wanted love work for his lover, who happens to be a male. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
to some practitioners, some heterosexual practitioners that have problems with the homosexual, you know, orientation of sexual attraction, Dionysus breaks down that barrier. If you didn't understand it before, he may make you understand it in a way that you haven't understood it, which makes you a better practitioner because, you know, witches have no room for discrimination. Like, in my opinion,
Right.
it brings you down and it makes you weak to discriminate against anyone for anything other than sleeping with animals, because we've established that you shouldn't do that. But like,
No.
if that makes sense, so if you have a problem with that and you're not comfortable with yourself being comfortable with other forms of sexuality, be it you know, homosexuality, BDSM, you know, that thing where you're into belly buttons, I don't know, like
Fetishes?
people, sex is weird for people, and he
I don't
breaks
have
that
a belly
barrier. He makes
button.
you understand that not everything floats everyone's boat. So, you know, just kind of live free and understand that just because you are not into it doesn't mean that it's not okay for someone else to be into it.
Right, and I think it's a good thing for witches to. Sorry to interrupt, but I think it's a good thing for witches to at least once in their lifetime to really embody Dionysus, to channel him, to experience him, because it will teach you so much. You know, he will teach you acceptance because you're gonna do the freaky, you're gonna do some shit that you don't want to. You might you want to do, but you aren't going to go there, but he will make you go there.
Right.
So, I don't know. I love Dionysus. He's taught me a lot. And I think that he has so much to offer to anyone who's willing to work with him.
So on the female aspect, we're going to go into somebody else. I worked with Freya for a while.
A while.
I'm trying to think, because what happened with her, my experience with her, now I had a lot of work that needed to be done, and Hecate came in and that was worked on. So that was one aspect of me. That was like the more of the woman, you know, mom side. And then Freya came in and completely threw me for a loop because she worked on the sexual, sensual side. That is her. Freya is the freak of the goddesses. You take Venus and Aphrodite, and like Freya is just what
Freaky.
she slept with like 3 dwarfs for an amber necklace. I mean, the thing is with the
nice.
Norse, the thing is with the Norse is they were not monogamous. Even in their culture, if it was not written in your wedding vows, you could fuck whoever you wanted. So she had a husband who she loved very, I can't remember his name. She loved very, very, very much. But she also slept around because that was what made her happy. So with her and with me, she allowed me to get into touch with that sensual side of myself and more of that physical, sexual side. But she was trying to push me to go into like hook up with random people, which is not something that I've ever been into. So I had to tell her a couple times to back off. And I think that's why our relationship was so short. But I did learn a lot from the relationship with her, and as far as, you know, being able to nurture that side of yourself, because it is another side of yourself that you need to nurture and experience. But I just wasn't about to go and do random hookups because that's just not me. But if you're a woman and you really want to embody that beauty, that that sensual, that sexual, random hookup thing, definitely go with Freya. I don't remember if she was into women. I think she was just into men. So I don't know how it would work with that kind
For
of relationship.
lesbian?
Yeah, I don't recall any stories. I do remember I think it was like 3 or 4 dwarves that she slept with for the amber necklace, and she was just, somebody else was after her for a while. I mean,
She slept with them for a necklace?
yeah,
Could-
they made her a necklace. Like her
I
thing is
love
her thing
That's
is amber.
awesome.
Her thing is amber, and it was this really beautiful amber necklace.
Well,
And
shit, I'd see someone for a very beautiful necklace. Come on now.
maybe she has a little bit of like prostitution energy, like,
she may.
you know.
Yeah, she
Guys, I
kinda,
really hate. I don't want to interrupt you, and I want to continue this conversation because I want to watch it later. But I have to go. But
Okay.
I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one.
Peace out.
Bye. The prostitution energy, I think that she pretty much does whatever makes her happy. So I mean that could be part of it. I haven't really. I guess so. Sex for goods. Yeah. It's been a while since I've brushed up on the
Well, if
on the
you're
stories.
fucking midgets for a necklace, I mean, come on.
The necklace has a specific name and it has like specific powers because she is also a queen of the witches. Like the other side of her is she's the queen of the witches, you know, queen of the Valkyries. When the Norse died, half of them, or the ones that died in battle, half of them went to Odin and half of them went to her. So she was also a badass in that aspect. So she's got definitely different sides to her personality. But she only came to me in the sexual nature, so.
I've never worked with Freya. I've never felt compelled to work with any of the Norse deities. That's interesting, though. I would definitely work with her if I'm going to get some midgets to make me some amazing, powerful necklace.
For me, I was when I first started, I was interested in the Norse, and I looked into them, and I read up on them, and then what happened was Hecate came to me, so that was it. But then I had this dream, and it was a book, and it said Freya's name, and it had a picture of her with daisies, which is one of her flowers. And then that's what started it. So if she came to me, I wouldn't know how to petition her because she came to me. So,
right.
But I'm sure if you gave her some daisies and some amber and some, she likes cats, and there's a couple other things that she would be willing to help you out.
Because cats are freaky. Cats are fucking freaky.
So I have
they make loud noises. They get what they want. They're fucking annoying. No wonder she likes cats. Fucking pussies. I'm sorry.
Oh, I also had a dream around that time that there was these huge, huge, huge cats all over my dad's roof of his house. So when you start to have dreams like that, you have to pay attention to what's trying to get a hold
being
of you.
said.
Mm-hmm.
So Scarlett, are you still there?
Yes.
Have you ever worked with Freya or Dionysus or any spirit or deity associated with love, relationships, sexuality? Have you ever had any experiences with them or those types of energies?
I've had, and I haven't worked with them. I didn't work with them. I guess I turned them away. But I've had Pan show himself to me like 3 or 4 times. And he didn't come close, but I mean, I could still see him. And I was like, no. I don't know. I just didn't feel, I guess, the need to work with him at that moment.
Because you're already a freak, that's why.
So
No.
I kind of like, I brushed him off, and
Yeah.
I don't know. So I mean, like I said, he's appeared like 3, 4 times. I guess I didn't have the need to work with him because he gave off that energy, the sexual energy. And I was like, well, I don't need that, But
Yeah.
I mean, like totally working with him, like Blythe has with Freya. I haven't worked with a deity in that way yet. So.
Oh, aren't I was always a little apprehensive because I have had a lot of people ask me to do love work for them, and at the beginning, I was a little apprehensive. Like, I don't want to do this shit. I don't like this shit. Like, don't ask me to do love work for you. But so many people ask me for that, so finally I got into the habit, I guess I accepted it. Like, okay, that's part of our power. Like, part of a witch's power is to work love. I'm like, okay, I will honor that, finally. And I did. So, and you're kind of apprehensive right now to do love workings, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do something to a certain extent, but yeah, deeper love workings, I don't know. I don't like it.
Ow! That bit me.
I don't know what it is. I don't like it.
There was a
I mean, like
long
if it's
time.
if it's a couple, and it's reigniting the flame in the relationship, but they're still
Right.
together. That's one thing, but like bringing like 2 people together that haven't been together, and I don't know. I don't know, because what if the one doesn't love the other one on their own, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
my thing is like,
I'm open to doing, like healing in a relationship. Yeah, but to bring 2 people together that aren't even together yet, I'm not open to that really.
See, and Nimbus has the same opinion because me and him talked about that when we did our video. Towards the end, he started talking about how he doesn't really like to do love work because love can't be created. Is his opinion. Love can't be created, which I agree with. It can't be created, but sometimes if you tweak something here and there, it's more of clearing out the clutter or more of like a road opening thing. Then I don't agree with forcing somebody to love you because to me that doesn't last and it's fake and it's not something you should do. But with clearing,
it all just depends on how much they're gonna pay you. Just kidding.
with
No.
helping with communication and road opening and stuff like that, or love uncrossing and different things like that, I agree with. But making somebody love you is not really my thing either.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with that, and I don't know. It's just
That is something I always had to have.
clients, like do workings for for clients to like attract love to them, but not a particular person, but just
Right.
that love. I've done that, but to make somebody love somebody and they're not even together or anything like that, I can't do it. I won't do that.
No, that's something that is why I did not get into love work for a long time. But then I'm like, fuck it. I will help people find love. I will help people find love within them. But I'm not going to help people find specific love. Like if they want someone at work, yeah, I'll help them attract it. But I'm not going to work on that specific person. And I think it's important for people to understand that for me, you shouldn't do that because what if they don't love you? You're setting yourself up eventually for failure. You're setting yourself up for hurt, for pain, for all of that. So don't do that. I don't mind. I love doing love work. I love helping people to find love. I help assisting people in attracting different types of experiences into their life. But if it calls for, unless they're already with that person, I might work on that. But if it calls for attracting or getting a specific person to love them or to do something for them, that's just not my thing. I won't do it. I won't judge that, other people do it and that's fine, it's on them, but that's not my thing. But I think love work is important for a witch. It's part of our power. It's part of something that makes us who we are. Witches have always been known for the love aspect. So I think we should all honor that, but within our own not our own limitations, but our own judgments. Like,
Comfort zone?
Yeah, your own. Everybody has their own morals and ethics when it comes to something like that, and you should never do anything outside of your ethics. If it's something that you don't believe in, don't do it. Don't do it for somebody else, because I think that would botch it up. If you have somebody that doesn't believe in that, and you have a client come to you for this love work, and you don't believe in it, and you do it anyway because you're getting paid, I think you're doing a disservice to yourself and everybody else that's involved. If it's not something you want to do, then don't do it just to get paid, basically.
Well, I've lost a couple customers or clients because I wouldn't do that particular love work. I had this girl, she wanted me to make this guy at a local store fall in love with her. And I was like, I'm not doing that. What if what if you're not his soulmate, or you're not the one he's meant to love? And here he is, he's going to be trapped in a relationship with you, forcing to love you. I'm not doing that. And I've lost a few clients because of I won't do that. I won't make somebody love somebody else.
And people need to be educated. People need to understand that it's not whatever you want to do is on you. But for people who align with what we're trying to do, it's not okay to attract or to make a specific person to love you. I'm not into that. That's not okay with me. Just because if it was done to me, sorry, this damn cat. If it was done to me, I would hate it. Now, like curses and all that stuff, if it was done to me and I deserved it, I deserved it. Like, I understand that. But when it comes to love, I'm like, fuck no. No, you don't fuck with love. You don't mess with people like that. That hurts people. That hurts people on a whole different level than just cursing them, than hurting them physically. Love is so special that if you mess with that, even as a practitioner, if you mess with that, that's harmful, like in a whole different level than anything else that I've done. Like, I won't do that. And people need to understand the importance of, these feelings, of, the connections. If you want to have sex, yeah, I'll help you to have, well, I'll help you attract, someone who's going to give you what you want, but I'm not going to help you have sex with your boss to get you a promotion. That's different. And sex, love, all that's all different.
Those clients that I lost, because I won't force somebody to love them. I was called a fake witch because I wouldn't do that. You can call me what you want, but I'm not going to force somebody to do something, especially love. Like you said, love is a whole other thing. Being hurt in love, I think, is worse than being cursed.
I think he's dealing with the cat. No, I agree with that. I think attraction work can be fun sometimes if we want to play around and see the kind of what you're going to attract or the type of person. But I don't think you can create infatuation. You can create obsession. I don't think you can create love. So you have to be careful.
I don't.
That you're not going to create like a stalker.
No, and that's the thing. Like, I think you can create the perception of love. I think as witches we can do so many different tricky things, But true love, like actual love, that's something that I honestly don't feel that we are able to do, nor should we. It's again like, hey, y'all, look at us deviant witches have fucking standards. We don't mess with love. Look at that, harm none, motherfuckers.
You can get laid all you want, but that doesn't mean the person's gonna love you.
Exactly.
No, I'm not okay with that. Like, I have seen people in love, and I have seen other practitioners help people continue with a relationship that is just not going anywhere. And that shit hurts. Like, you can look at that relationship and you can see the destruction of it. And that's, to me, that's fucking wrong. You can pay me whatever you want to pay me. I'm not going to do that shit because that's not okay for me. If someone else wants to do that, that's their specialty, whatever. But why would you want someone that doesn't want you? You know, have respect for yourself. Have respect for that person. And I understand that there's so many different things that make someone want to be with another person. There's children, there's so many different beliefs. But if that person doesn't love you, wouldn't you feel bad about yourself if you are responsible for creating them staying with you? And it's no judgment, you know. If you want to do that, that's on you, and that's okay. Like, I'm not gonna judge someone who wants to do that, who is in that experience, and who feels like they have to. I don't feel like that's my place to say yay or nay, but it's my place to speak up. It's my place to say what I feel and to educate, you know. And I want to empower people, and I feel like if you are trying to get someone to love you, you're not empowered, because what if they don't love you? You're hurting yourself, and that's not okay. You shouldn't hurt yourself. If you're a witch, you're a witch. You want to be strong, you want to be powerful, you want to have courage, you want all these amazing things that align with our craft. Love aligns with our craft too, but you should not force it. Don't do that, because you're hurting yourself. You're weakening your own craft. You're weakening your own power when you're forcing someone to feel a specific way about you.
And what does it say about you, too, that in order to be loved, you need to make somebody else do it? You know?
And, you know, love is such a complicated situation, because if you are in a situation where you really love someone and they love you, you know they love you. Not like stalker love, not obsessive love, not where you're wanting them to love you, but you know, like, you've been in a relationship and you know that there is actual love there. If you'd work something where you strengthen that, where you focus on that, where you remind the other person of that love, I think that's respectable. I think that is okay. But don't create situations out of nowhere. You know? It says a lot about a person and a person's practice when they will make someone love them who has really no feelings about them. I'm not going to get in bed with a witch like that. Ever.
No, I agree.
Well, like, I have a client I've done work for recently. It's her and her boyfriend. Well, something had happened in the relationship that I'm not going to say. And he needs, like, self-healing and, like, self-love, like, because he lost that. Like, to care about himself, to love himself, to have that confidence. So she asked me to help with that. That I'll help with. But, like you said, forcing somebody, that's just not real.
The thing is, if you really, really love somebody, no matter how much you want to be with them, you want them to be happy, even if it's not with you.
Abs-
Yeah.
Absolutely. That
Right?
that is, that is magic in itself. That statement is powerful, because that's so true. If you love someone, you want them to be who they are, and even if they don't love you, if they can't share that part of themselves with you, you love them enough to let them go. And yeah, it hurts. Yeah, you want them, but you have to be strong enough to know that whatever is meant to be will happen. Even if, like, if you're a witch and you're like, someone leaves you, if you do attraction work, if you do something to spice up that relationship, to call that person back, that's fine. Within There's limitations to me. There's different perceptions to do that, or different ways to do that. Calling them back is fine as long as you're not forcing them to come back. If you're kind of reminding them of what they had, if you're reminding them of what they lost, because some people, honestly, it's human nature. Some people stray. Some people they might love someone, but they freak out. They might want to try something else. They might want to go somewhere else, and it's not because they don't love that person. It's because that's all they've known. So if you are a witch and you attract that back to you, I don't see a problem with that. Um, there's so many different ways to work it, and you have to be careful. But it's for me, I don't mind attracting that type of energy, but forcing someone to come back is different.
But just because you're attracting them back doesn't mean they're going to stay forever. You can attract somebody
Absolutely.
back and you can maybe start talking again and then things get all fucked up again. And then to me, that just means that you are supposed to either not be together or take your time apart. And maybe in the future, once you guys work out your own stuff individually, you'll come back together. Have that be through magical means or mundane means. But just because I've done it before, there was somebody I was seeing and he dropped off the face of the earth. He had stuff going on. So I did some attraction work, and he called me and told me that it was one of his a family friend was sick, and so I talked to him, and then he dropped off the face of the earth again, and I never talked to him again after that. So just because you attract that person to you and you have that communication doesn't mean they're gonna stay. But that was actually a good learning experience for me because I realized that not meant to be at all. Even though I just started this relationship with a person, it just was not meant to be.
Absolutely. What are you laughing about over there?
Because
You find something hilarious?
you just space cadetted. That's why.
Hmm?
You turned into a space cadet. That's why.
Did he freeze again?
Yeah, I think he did. I wasn't sure if it was him or me. I'm trying to think if there's anything else for this topic.
With attraction work, like when you're making your setting your intentions or your petition, I think people need to be extremely careful in what they're asking for. Because if they're not, then I think you can get or end up with somebody who is just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like stalker, crazy. And like like how you said, if you love somebody, you want to see them happy no matter what. Well, I had this girl tell me that she had done some attraction work and she met a really nice guy, and I guess months went down the road, and they were dating, and then they got a little serious. Well, he ended up being the total opposite of what you had said. about if you love somebody, you want them to be happy. He told her, if I can't have you, no. And so he started being like the stalker type, and she was always like worried about her safety and her kids' safety. And I was like, see, you have to be careful on what you're calling forth, because you can totally screw yourself over.
Yeah. That's why if you're doing an attraction spell, or if you're doing some kind of love spell, it's better to call forth something that
Oh,
basically your I don't want to say soulmate, but the person that's right for you. So you would want to make a list of all of everything that you want in a person, but take your time and make the list and make it proper and make it complete. You don't want to leave anything out. You want somebody who's sane and maybe like has a good job and wants a commitment or whatever it is that you're looking for. Because you don't want somebody who is going to turn into a crazy stalker. Especially you said with kids involved. That's that's nuts.
This fucking thing keeps messing the fuck up and it's pissing me off. Just so y'all know. No, did y'all have issues? Because mine totally froze.
No, you just dropped off again.
Motherfucker, that pisses me off. I was like trying to talk to you, like, did they die?
No,
okay, here we go. Fuck. That shit's wrong. What'd I miss?
Scarlett was talking about not attracting psycho people.
Oh, psycho people suck ass.
Be
like
very
when you're
specific.
doing the petition or your intentions, you got to be very specific.
Which is
have you ever attracted a psycho person to yourself?
Well, I attract psycho people to me all the fucking time. They find
me. Fuck, obviously.
As far as a lover or a relationship, no.
I've never attracted a psycho person, but I did something, and I talked about it in the video that Nimbus and I did together. I wrote out my list, but I did not write wants a commitment. So before I think because I liked using the tall glass candles, I think before it even burned out, I had like 3 people in the course of like 5 days kind of proposition me.
Ew.
But they were all friends of mine that I'd already turned down.
Do they have money?
No, they were. Well, they all had.
No.
Actually, I worked with them, so they did have a good job.
Oh.
Which was
no.
That was on my paper. Has a good job, and I have a good job, and I worked with them. So, but it was people that I had turned down before. Like one of the guys is like 7 years younger than me, and I was friends with them, and I'm like, no. I'm like, I can't.
Ew, he's practically he's not even legal. That's like freaking 16.
How old do you think I am? Anyway.
You're young. Shut up.
I'm older than you are.
You're young.
So it was very strange because I already pushed him off before, and there was somebody else I don't even remember. And I was like, that's very funny. I didn't write down, wants a commitment. So when you're doing something like that and you're making your list, make sure you write it down and you go over it like 1,000 times and you have everything that you need.
Absolutely. No psychos, no stalkers, no people obsessed. No one who's going to obsess. Mm-hmm. Obsessors are fucking loony. Not okay, people. Not okay. No bueno. Not. I had an experience when I was younger where I had a stalker, and that is weird. Like that's honestly, nope. Not okay. That's why you're specific. That's why you're specific. That's why you really, so many spells, so many witches teach you not to be specific. They teach you to kind of attract the general thing.
But that only works in some situations.
Exactly. And you want to be so fucking specific because if you attract motherfucking stalkers, that's not okay. Do you want to be stalked? It's not. I mean, if I was being stalked by like Ryan Reynolds and all these hot ass people, that's different. I'd be like, fuck yeah, come on, I'll bake you some cookies.
When you're doing abundance work or maybe even work to get a job, you want that to be open-ended because maybe that'll open up doors for education. Maybe you'll win the lottery. Who knows? But when you're doing it for people, you have to be very, very, very specific. You can't leave that open-ended because there are so many freaking crazy people out there. You really don't know what you're gonna get.
Exactly, and
really
that's so important because when we're witches, obviously, we're practicing our craft, we're doing our shit. And this isn't taught. This isn't talked about. There are certain things where you want to be extremely specific, and there are certain things where you kind of want to give a little leeway, like you said, with abundance work, with job work. Because if you want a specific job and you work for it, you don't get it. But if you want a job that pays you amazing, you work for that, you get a job that's not your intended target, that's okay. But if you do that for love work, you end up with a fucking psycho stalker.
Yeah, and then we gotta clean it up.
You definitely gotta clean it up. You gotta get rid of that shit. Psycho stalkers are not okay. Fuck her out to the boonies, and
it's
you
a
just
lot
run.
harder to get rid of a psycho stalker than it is to attract one. You can attract 100 of them, but to get rid of them is hard.
It is, and you're right. It is hard to get rid of them because attracting those types of people is easy because they're looking for you. But even for a witch, like getting rid of them because they're so focused on you, they fixate on you. They love your fucking stilettos, whatever. They might have a fucking foot fetish. I don't care. But they might fixate on something about you, and that is hard to make someone forget. No matter what practitioner you are, no matter how advanced you are, that's hard. That lust for something, that desire for something, that fixation is challenging, is hard to remove. So that's why you have to be specific. Not with a specific individual, but with specific traits.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. Right?
I agree.
We honestly kind of went over like everything. And then some. I honestly don't know if what I said in my little fucking rant when you guys were frozen is going to be posted.
No.
But so obviously, okay. Freya's necklace was not made of amber; it was made of silver with amber jewels. Yay! Okay. Anyways, I think that was it. That was something that someone said. Huh. Imagine that. So if anyone else has any like specific relationship questions, if they have any love questions, if they have any questions at all, go ahead and post them up in here, and we'll do our best to answer them. Otherwise, we're probably gonna fucking leave.
Yeah.
Is there is there anything else that y'all wanted to say about anything? I mean, obviously we've been all over the place, so it doesn't really matter. Anything that you'd like to express to yourselves about any type of practice, any type of belief, any type of annoyance that you've had recently with dumbass witches? Dumbass witches.
Just don't be so fucking judgmental. Stop. Like, if somebody wants to do something, stop being judgmental. Like, I try not to be judgmental, and I'm like, well, give maybe different advice. Not like, oh no, you cannot do that. It's more of, well, this is what I would do. Like, it's when you tell somebody that they can't do something, it just grates my nerves.
Yeah, because they're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh yeah, you can do that shit. Let me show you how. They're they're gonna do it regardless. So don't tell someone they can't do someone. They can't do something. Uh, but if you're gonna express yourself, tell them why you wouldn't do it. Just say, you know what, do what you want, but this is what I feel. That's
And
different,
remember, everyone is not Wiccan. Please.
No,
That is
nobody's
fucking...
Wiccan.
Well, what about that? Nope, that's yours, not mine.
No, and that's so. I don't understand that because nowadays there's so many people speaking out. Like, there's so many people saying they're not Wiccan. There's so many people saying that they practice this, that, whatever, but they do not follow these limitations. And people still assume that they do. I don't get it. Like, that baffles me.
Someone said that the threefold law was not a limitation or something, and I'm like, how can you say that it's not a limitation? A lot of people don't understand that if you don't believe in something, it's not true for you. It's like, so another thing is, people need to look up the fucking definition for karma.
Yeah, definitely.
Look it up. Because it is not what you think it is.
No.
Stop threatening people with it, because it makes you look really lame. If you're going to do something, fucking do it.
When did witches back in the day fucking follow a goddamn read?
No.
Exactly. Keep that shit to yourself.
I was talking to specific spirits, old witches, recently, aka probably like last night, and then this whole week. But I was talking to them about this, this karma, this read, all these. Okay, if they're not limitations to you, that's fine. But to me, they are restrictions. They're limitations. And I was talking to, old spirits about this, and what was told to me was it's a bunch of bullshit. A witch has always done what he or she wants. We do what is necessary. We practice our own. We take care of our own. We have family. We support one another. But we are powerful. We are strong. There is nothing that stands in our way because we are witches. We are practitioners of magic. We create change. There's nothing that can stand in our way but ourselves. And that is what I want to express with, Deviant Witchery, with this group, that I want people to understand and know and take back their own power. People are so weak. And it saddens me because our practice was feared at one time. Do you fear witches nowadays? I don't fear witches. I don't fear people because they're stupid. They're ignorant and they can't fucking practice. They can't cast. Okay, I might fear Dorothy Morrison because that bitch, I love her and she'd probably kill me. But, there's not. There's not many practitioners out there who I would fear, who I do fear, and who I think could have one over me. There's very few. And we used to be that. We used to be feared. We used to be strong. But we're nothing now. So many people have created this view about witches. Like, we're so nice. We're submissive. We want to do good. We want to bake fucking cookies. We want to do bake sales. We want to do all this shit. And we have lost touch with our strength, with our core, with what makes us who we are. And I want I want to bring that back to people. There's so many other people who are doing that, but they just don't get heard. Um, and I'll fucking talk whenever the fuck I want to. So I want people to understand that. Like, I care. Like, I want witches to understand that they have power, they have strength, you know. And I think that's people don't understand that. People are so stupid. They think they're so weak that they can't do shit. That they have all these rules, these laws that are gonna like judge them, that are gonna hurt them or their family if they speak up, if they step out. And I think that it's important for witches to understand, like, if you speak up, if you step out, you think that this read is going to judge you? What does that mean? What is that training you to believe? Like, if you stand up for what is right, for what you feel is true, if something is telling you that it's wrong, that you're going to be hurt because you spoke your truth, does that make you feel good?
Isn't that why
can you align with something like that?
A lot of people moved away from Christianity. I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
Come on.
And I totally just ranted for the last 2 minutes, but I don't give a flying fuck.
Well, I don't have nothing against, like, all Wiccans. You know, I know a couple people who are Wiccan, and I can have a conversation with them, and there's things that we agree on, there's things that we disagree on, but we don't argue about it. You know, they'll say, oh, well, I wouldn't do that because, you know, I do believe in the read. You know, they'll tell me that. But, God, I'm going to probably get backlash for this one. Most, not all, but most Wiccans are like fucking Bible thumpers.
They...
Yes.
Yes.
Like they just need
Say
a
it,
fucking
sister.
Bible, shove it in your fucking face. It's like just more, you know, just like fucking Christians, you know what I mean, with their fucking Bible and shoving that shit in your face and down your throat, and it's like they do the same thing but with the fucking read and. Oof.
That's why
Fucking choke somebody.
So I think somebody mentioned something on the Deviant Witchery page, something about the Wiccans being Christians with a wand, and somebody got really upset about that comment. But I completely agree with it. Right, you may have said that, but somebody else got upset with that. And it's like, but it's
They did.
Truth. It's the truth, though.
Yeah.
Okay, it is true, and there are so many Wiccans that I love. I know so many traditional Wiccans that they would hurt you. They're amazing. They're powerful. They're strong, and they believe. You know, I don't have to have someone who believes exactly like I do, but their beliefs are in alignment with mine. They don't take shit. They're not weak. They will curse you if necessary. You know, these are traditional Wiccans. I don't know what this new shit is. Like, it's watered down, fucking sludgy, nasty ass shit. Not even pretty. I don't even know what that shit is. But a lot of traditional practitioners, they align with what we express. They are powerful. They are strong. They may believe in it, harm none, blah blah blah, do what you will or whatever it is. But they don't take bullshit, you know? So there are many practitioners who are traditional.
Do no harm, but take no shit.
Exactly.
I like
you
that.
know?
Cool.
So there are many practitioners who do that. And that, I don't have anything against those practitioners. I don't have any, but I do have something against people who are weak. I have something against people who take our power, take our practice, and piss on it, who belittle it, who say that we cannot do what we do, people who say that we're weak, people who say that we have no power. I have issues with practitioners who believe that what we do is just like good vibes, and meditation, crystal healing. You know, they don't understand the beauty of our practice. They don't understand that witches are real. A lot of these witches out here are fake. They they don't grasp the full complexity of what we're about, because witches are psychic. All witches are psychic. So many people are against that. They think that not everyone's psychic, but all witches, we talk to the dead. We talk to spirits. Even those witches who deny it, they know. They know. Don't be laughing over there, Miss Cancer Libra. Miss Cancer Libra. Um, they know that the spirits are there. They can feel them because that's usually what happens. You can
Because
feel that shit.
because if you don't talk to it, it'll still come to you. Whether you
Yeah, so all witches are psychic. All witches are in tune with that nature. But so many people, they belittle us. They think they make us look bad and make us weak, and we're not weak. We got our shit. We got ourselves taken care of. We got our family taken care of. I don't get it. And traditional Wiccans, traditional practitioners are exactly, they're like that. They are strong, and I respect so many. I have a friend who's a traditional practitioner, and I wouldn't mess with her. She's sweet. She lives her life the way she lives it. But I know if necessary, she can fuck someone up, and that's kind of just the way it should be. There are people like us who will do what we have to do. There are people who are traditional who will do what is necessary if they feel it's necessary. Like, they will really weigh that shit, you know? But we kind of just, like, at least for me, like, deviant practitioners, traditional witches, will do what's necessary. We'll come at you if you come at us. Don't fuck with me, because I'll fuck you up. That's just how it is. But traditional practitioners, I feel, have a little more. They weigh that more. I guess. I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass now.
No, it makes sense. Because I think because they have that background, they have that study, that training to take more time to pick things apart a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, usually
I'm just. Go ahead.
I can do, and then I'll like come back a little bit, but like, no, I can't do that, and I'll be like, all right, let me do something different, because that's just how I think.
Right. Right. And like for me, like I've been practicing so long, like I've been who I am for a long time. Like I know myself. Like I know how I would react. I know how I would do things. Like if I want to do something, bam, I know I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna curse someone. I'm going to help someone. I'm gonna love someone. I'm gonna do whatever I do. And people like assume that those of us who don't believe in the read, those of us who don't believe in those limitations, that we just kind of like practice crazy, but we don't. We know ourselves so well because we're honest with who we are. We practice our practice. We have this full understanding of who we are that when we do what we do, we own it. And I don't think people really take that into consideration. I don't know. I totally just ranted for like ever.
That's okay. It needed to be said, so it was said.
Anyways, are there any last like expressions that Scarlett and Blythe would love to have or express? Like anything that you feel is annoying you right now about practitioners? Anything that you want to just kind of address before we like say fuck y'all and we're going to sleep or having a drink?
No, nothing I haven't said before. What still bothers me is the people that say they don't have time or they're too busy or they don't have money or whatever other excuses they make. That will always bother me. But
yeah,
that's
that is
a whole nother rant.
That is a whole other rant. That's like poor ass motherfucking witchcraft. We are all poor. You know, we got our shit. You know,
But
we can
that's
go to the dollar.
that's another thing is witches who have that poor mentality.
Yeah.
Just fucking do something about it. You know?
Go the fuck outside and talk to them spirits. Yeah.
That's a whole that could be a whole other show. Let's write that one down.
That is written down. That's gonna be a show, and we're gonna have Nimbus on that show because he likes to rant as much as I do.
That'll be like a 3-hour show.
Fuck yeah, that will be.
Mm-hmm.
Scarlett, anything else that you'd like to say? Because I took up the whole fucking thing and talking about my ass. Shit.
I think it was the vodka. Is that why we switched over?
I did. The vodka's gone, man.
I know, I can tell.
No, I have to life on laziness of witches. Like, I guess new witches, they'll say that they don't have this or that, so they can't do this. Well, a witch can work with any fucking thing.
Fuck yeah. Vodka.
You know, a fucking paper clip, a fucking thumbtack. You make the shit fucking work with what you have around you.
Fucking pen.
Don't make excuses.
Absolutely. That should be our motto. Witches don't make excuses.
I like that.
You like my ghetto-ness? Witches don't make excuses, man.
I like that.
Absolutely. I agree. I honestly agree with... Fuck, I feel like I've been talking for an hour, but I agree with everything that y'all have said. I agree. You know, that honestly should be a show that should be separate. So if anyone who watches later or now, leave a comment and tell us your experiences. Tell us anything that I don't even know what we've talked about so far, but let us know what you think. Let us know about anything that you want to know about, like witches making excuses. If you think that's an issue, talk to us about it, because without you, we wouldn't. We would always be talking shit because we like to talk. But let us know. Just talk to us, and we will address those things. If there's a concern that you have, we will take it and we will address it. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. Even though we have a foul mouth, we still care. We might bite a little, just a little. Nothing that's gonna draw blood.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe. But yeah, seriously, just let us know. Comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's anything that you want to know about, and we'll talk about it. We aren't shy. We'll talk about anything. Obviously, you can see from our shows that we just want to empower witches. We want to express our craft and how important it is to us, and inspire that in other practitioners. That's all I have to say. Anything else now?
Nope.
Peace out, motherfuckers.